As we await details coming in from this courtroom, let's go to Dan Abrams, our chief legal analyst. And Dan, we expect a series of narco-terrorism-related charges here this morning that the judge will go down the list.
Right. Narco-terrorism conspiracy and cocaine importation conspiracy are the two most serious charges. There's also some weapons charges as well. And when I say serious, we're talking about maximum of up to life in prison with minimums of 20 and 10 years. Now, if you look at this big picture, what the government is alleging is that Maduro and his wife used the government of Venezuela to execute on this drug conspiracy. They literally were handing out passports to drug dealers. They were engaging in murder and kidnapping, using the diplomacy, using the veil of the Venezuelan government to pursue this drug conspiracy. And that's the heart of everything that they're alleging here. Remember, this started in 2020, where the first indictment was handed up, and they have now handed up a superseding indictment in connection with this. And so in court, as you pointed out, we're expecting this to be relatively brief. They'll be informed of the charges against them. There may be some discussion of whether there would be bail, which of course would be a non-issue in a case like this. And remember, two separate cases against Maduro and his wife. There could be different evidence. There could be separate trials. A lot of things we still don't know at this point.
Dan, when you talk about separate trials, it could be a very long time before we see any of these trials begin.
It could be years. You know, in a typical case like this, it could take years. Now, we'll have to see if this gets expedited. Remember, that is something that belongs to the defendant in most cases, right? The power to move things forward. A defendant has a right to a speedy trial. If a defendant wants the case to move forward quickly, that defendant can help in moving that process forward. So if Maduro and his wife decide, we don't want this to take months and months and months. We want to get this going in 60 days, 3 months, et cetera. They could try to push forward with a case, but I would expect that this will at least take a number of months, if not much longer.
And if convicted, you mentioned this earlier, what does Maduro face here?
Up to life in prison, and with minimums of 10 and 20 years just on the most serious charges, right? I mean, then you've got additional charges as well. So, you know, if he's convicted here, you're talking about, you know, effectively a life sentence for him, you would think. We'll see. The judge will have enormous discretion when it comes to sentencing. There's always the possibility that he's not convicted of the most serious charges. Again, as we talked about a moment ago, there could be a different case against his wife. And so as a result, his wife might not be convicted of certain charges. They might not be convicted of anything. We shall see. But when it comes to sentencing, the judge has enormous discretion in a case like this.